Just wanted to I ask and Dan some similar as well, but like I was saying, it was great to see Kieran Frawley having such a kind of positive impact for Ireland in the Six Nations. I was saying, like, have you kind of seen the stuff that he's kind of been doing in the background? Like, because he did fall out of that kind of test picture for a while, but like, did you see him working away hard on his game, kind of like doing the work that nobody else saw over the last few months?
Yeah, he's always very diligent. He brings great energy to every day, and like I said, he's diligent around training his extras, and he wasn't getting his chances at times, but he's always working in that opposition team, and he enjoys competing as well. So, like, I think he was carrying a few niggles there for a while after the Christmas period, and he just looks to be really firing now on all cylinders, and he's moving well, and like you said, he's had good contributions in the matches.
I was looking at, again, like that Glasgow game at the weekend. You saw, like, even though he might not have been involved in anything, some opposition players were targeting Sam, like, even the rub in the head and stuff like that. Like, do you kind of feel for someone like him where, like, he's gone through some tough times, but he's trying to kind of work away, just like Kieran would be as well, but he's still finding himself in the centre of things and opposition players targeting him? Like, what kind of advice can you give someone, like, at a time like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's always challenging. He kind of broke onto the scene the last few years, and like, I think there's always that honeymoon period, but teams work you out or work out how they can apply pressure or, like you say, target in certain ways. But Sam's doing great. He brings a great attitude to every training. He's working hard and behind the scenes. He's still young, so he's got so much to learn. But yeah, he's a great player, and I think we forget he's very young at times, and he's been exposed to such a high level of rugby, and he's a great competitor as well. So, like Frawley, they work at their craft, and they're getting opportunities, and Sam will learn from the weekend. He'll take a lot of positives, and he's got a few work-ons as well.
Yeah, perfect. Do you know, I was just going to ask us about, actually, no, hold on a second. I can ask you in a sec there. Hold on. So let somebody else jump in.
Could you just ask about the injuries? Did Hugo come through okay? I just didn't see him in today.
Yeah, no, Hugo's come through fine. I thought he had a great game, and he's come through fit. He just wasn't training today. Management first came back in, I think, a lot of months.
And just how great is it to have Andrew Porter back, potentially Ryan Berg coming back at this key part of the season?
Yeah, it's always nice. I mean, we haven't had a great run with injuries, but I feel like we're getting a few bodies back now, all around the same time. So, as much exposure as we can get them on the training pitch first, and to coach them again, get them aligned to what we do, they'll naturally bring their own talent and their experience that they've got. So it's great to see them out there and getting closer to a return.
And just with that, some of the returning players from the Ireland camp, is it going to be like a balance of getting them straight in, or maybe waiting for Edinburgh, given that there's only one game between that round of 16 clash?
Yeah, I mean, you always have an eye to the future, I guess, but it'll be done on a case-by-case basis. We got them back in. The majority are back in this week. Some guys are away, freshening up. Most guys are back on the training pitch, so whoever's playing this week, they're going to be buzzing, I think, to get back in blue and performing for Leinster. And I think the focus is solely on Scarlets, but as coaches, we have to kind of forecast forward a week or two and try and manage those bodies. But the guys that return they're full of energy today. It's great to have them back.
And just on Scarlets, what are you expecting from them this Friday?
They're a very dangerous team. I've had experiences with them last season and in the past, with even back in my Munster days. They're just dangerous. They can run from anywhere. I think their backs, they've been performing well even in the Six Nations with Wales. So I think they marry that with a really tough kicking game to handle. So we're going to have to turn up. We're going to have to be physical. We're going to have to take some learnings from our Glasgow match, and we're looking forward to giving them a battle on Friday night.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Tyler, just going to jump in with one more, if that's okay. You were kind of talking about the battles and going up against them in the past as well. Just, I know he's leaving at the end of the season, but how tough do you often find it going up against someone like a Jared Payne coach side as well? Like he's got a lot of credit and kind of fairly enough in the past for the work he's done with Claremont and kind of and Scarlets, and even when he used to be a player, he's been one of those on-field leaders. Does he have a tough defence to break down?
Yeah, they're definitely hard to break down. They're very tenacious. They're quite aggressive in the contact area. They love to take every tackle and ruck into a bit of a scrap. So yeah, it's definitely a big challenge for us to go up against them. And then I think what we see from the Scarlets as well is when they force errors, in the set piece or from their defence, they're very dangerous to transition. So, I'm sure he's had a big impact on them, and it's really challenging for us to prepare for. But we kind of have an eye towards that, and then we put a lot of focus back onto what we do and what we're trying to do well. So it's going to be an exciting challenge, I think.